Hello and happy Tuesday. It did snow, stuck absolutely nothing, but it did snow this morning, so hopefully you guys got to wake up and see that. If not, well, and you're just waking up, good morning to you. All right, so today what we're going to be talking about for our language is we are going to be doing adjectives again. And remember, adjectives, their job is to describe nouns. That's what they do in a sentence. That's how they do it. That's what's going on. So, again, adjectives describe nouns. Today, what we're going to talk about, though, is whenever I'm comparing two things. So, like, let's say I want to say that my sister is pretty, but my mom is prettier. So, whenever I'm comparing two things, whenever I'm describing two things, I'm going to put one with an ER. So, like, for instance, if the first one is pretty, that flower is pretty, then when I'm comparing only two, I'm going to say the other flower is prettier. Remember, when you are doing comparing two, your adjective is going to end with an ER. Again, when you're comparing two of them, dos, when you're comparing two, your adjective is going to get an ER. For instance, you could say, my cat is big, but my dog is bigger. The boy is loud, but the girl is louder. That teacher is crazy, but this teacher is crazier. So again, when I'm comparing two things, I'm going to put an ER. I'm going to show you guys a little dance here that we made up in, actually I've been doing it for about 10 years now. But anyway, I'll show you that dance here in just a minute that goes with this. But again, when you are comparing two, you're going to put an ER. Whenever I'm comparing three or more, so loud, comparing two, louder, comparing three or more, loud est. My wife would say, she is loud. She would say, Mason is louder, but Brian is the loudest. So when I'm comparing only two, it's ER. But when I'm comparing three or describing three different things, comparing them and how they act or how they are, again, it's going to get an EST. So now, the songs. I've actually got a couple of them, but this song was made up because there were kids that were not understanding that if a word ends in a consonant Y, what do you do? Well, this was the song that was made up, I don't even know how long ago it was. Had a little girl that actually put dance moves to it. I'm not going to do the dance moves because you guys already think I'm weird, but you're going to think I'm even weirder if I do the dance moves. But anyway, so the song goes like this. Well, I'll just do the dance moves, whatever. It goes like this. You got a consonant Y, you change the Y into an I, and then you add an ES. So again, the song goes like this. You got a consonant Y, you change the Y into an I, and you add ES. In this case, should be adding an ER. But again, prettiest, P-R-E-T-T-I-I-E-S-T, P-R-E-T-T-I-E-S-T. So again, when I'm comparing only two, or talking about only two, it's going to be an ER, prettier. Don't forget, if you end it with a consonant Y, change the Y to an I and then add your ER. Or if you're doing it for prettiest, P-R-E-T-T, I'm going to do it with the blue, P-R-E-T-T-I-E-S-T. So again, that's part number one for the day. So, lesson, adjectives, they describe nouns, their job. When I'm comparing only two or talking about only two, the adjective is going to get an ER, pretty, prettier. When I'm comparing three or more, EST. And don't forget, you got a consonant Y. You change the Y into an I and you add ES. So, again, some of you that are former students of mine know that one. But anyway, so that's that. I don't know if you guys think I'm any crazier than what you thought before, but hey, there you go. So, what's the point of teaching if you can't have fun doing it? That's the way I look at it. And like I said, I've got kiddos that are seniors in high school that come up to me and say, Mr. Muller, I still remember that ridiculous song. I'm like, which one? They go, the consonant Y song. So, again, it was actually a former cheerleader that actually made up those moves to that. So, she came back and saw our class one time. She was a Dell City High School cheerleader, And she said, I've got dance moves. And I said, give them to us. So she stood up there in the front of the class and she said, this was my favorite song. And she did all that. Anyway, kiddos loved it. She loved it. It was hilarious. So we've been doing it ever since. All right. So now part number 2 of today is going to be the associative property. Oy, oy, oy. The associative property. Here's the deal with the associative property. Simple. Watch this one. So like, let's say I have in a problem 5 times 4 times 2. What the associative property is going to do is it's going to put parentheses around one problem, and then what you're going to do with that is you're going to change the parentheses on the second problem. So what I tell my students, all you're doing is moving the brackets. Associative property, move the brackets. And we actually went like this in class. We would put this on our board. We'd go, move the brackets. I said, move the brackets. I said, move the brackets. Associative property. And that's the way that they did it. The kiddos laughed and had fun with it. But again, on an associative property, all you're going to do is move those brackets from 2 numbers to the other 2 numbers. So for instance, like this one, 5 times 4 would be 20. Then whenever I do 20 times 2, I get 40. Okay, so let's go over here. Drop my 5 down. So 5 times 4 times 2 is 8. So 5 times 8 is 40. So as long as I move those brackets and I do my multiplication correctly, I'm going to end up with the same number on both sides. So again, the associative property, again, move the brackets. This year we made up that song, move the brackets. I said move the brackets. I said move the brackets. Associative property. And that's the way the kiddos did it. They had a good time with that. So for your work today, for your challenge today, again, I like having fun, sorry. Your challenge today is very, very simple, very, very easy. I want you to go ahead and make up some of those adjectives and maybe even do a couple with the consonant Y in them. Remember, if it's a vowel Y, you don't do that. Vowel Y's, you don't do that. So, but consonant Y's, you do. So again, with your consonant Y, change the Y to an I and add the ER, add an EST. But again, comparing 2, put the ER. Comparing 3 or more, put the EST. And then as far as math goes, do a couple of these. Have fun with this. Make it challenging for yourself. Do bigger numbers if you want to. But again, as I always say, memorize those multiplication facts. Tomorrow, we're going to come back. Let's see, we've done the commutative property, social property. Tomorrow, we're going to do the distributive property. And we're going to possibly even do some more songs for you guys. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're enjoying these. Again, remember, these are just for me to have fun because I don't like just sitting at home doing absolutely nothing. I love teaching. Teaching is my passion. Teaching is my joy. Teaching is what I love doing. So again, if you guys get anything out of this, it's wonderful. If even one of you out there loves this, then I'm going to continue doing it for the next 5 weeks, and we're going to have a good time with it. Do the assignments if you want to. Don't do them if you don't want to. Down below me, go ahead and show me your work if you want to. I've had, again, a couple kiddos yesterday do that. On the Remind 101 kiddos, I am so proud of you. I'm getting more work done by the Remind 101 kiddos than I am Facebook. And here's the sad part. Facebook, I got well over 1,000 people on Facebook. Remind 101 has 40. So take that. But here's the deal. Simply do the work. Have fun with it. Again, this is just to keep the brain moving, keep the brain grooving. Again, if you have not read today yet, get that book out before you go to bed tonight. Read 20 to 30 minutes, but most importantly, enjoy the time with your family. Stay healthy, have fun, and I will see you tomorrow morning. See ya!